So I would like you guys to take a look at what you just wrote. Look at your letters and your words. Are they large or are they small? Notice which direction your words slant. Do they slant to the left, to the right, or are they vertical? Pay attention to your baseline. Did you write in a straight line, or do your words gradually ascend or descend on the page? Look at the spacing between your words and letters. Are they large or are they small and narrow? What do these observations about your handwriting tell you about yourself? Your personality, your perspective, and your self-perception. When a handwriting analyst or a graphologist looks at your handwriting, they notice more than whether it is just messy or neat. They are trained to look at the size, slant, baseline, spacing, and many other things in order to infer things about your personality, your perspective, and your self-perception. So I'm going to introduce handwriting analysis to you, along with a few ways of analyzing your own handwriting, and I'm also going to inform you of the critiques of handwriting analysis. So first, the basis of graphology or handwriting analysis is that the mind is expressing itself through your writing, through your pen, and through the movements your arm is making. And in his book, The Science of Handwriting Analysis, Rosen writes, handwriting is an outward flow of inward character, and it's just as indicative as speech or action. We can also see that this is true by the way that our handwriting is so unique. From a young age, we're taught the exact same uniform way of how to write things, yet over the years, as we've grown, our handwriting has transformed into something that's very unique and very different. So we look to this and we see that it must be because our own individual personalities influence our individual handwriting. So in her book, McNichol gave 16 different ways of analyzing and interpreting handwriting, but I'm going to discuss 4, and the first is up here on the screen is size. So look at the size of the things you wrote. Large writing tends to classify people who love attention, they love to impress, they're extroverted, they love to live extravagantly. On the opposite end, people with small writing are usually very introverted, but they're intelligent and concentrated and detailed in whatever they're doing. Medium is a middle ground between those two, and then you have extremes like very big and very small, and that says a lot about what someone thinks about themselves, whether they think really great about themselves, whether they think they're pretty dumb. Next is slant. A person with a strong right slant is someone who is very impulsive, and because they're so impulsive, they tend to make poor decisions. Someone with a slight right slant, though, is a good, healthy, they look ahead, yet they are able to make quick decisions that are still well thought out. They're very practically minded. Someone with a vertical slant is someone who is living in the present, they're very disciplined, they have good judgment, but they can be a bit rigid sometimes. If you have a slight left slant, then you're usually creative, introverted, and you give counsel to your friends often, and you like to daydream also. Varying slant indicates moodiness. So someone with a straight baseline is someone who is very stable, controlled, and consistent. But if it's too straight, then it's likely that this person fears losing control and is trying to just contain everything inside of them and not express what's really going on inside. Someone with an ascending baseline is someone who's very active and energetic in whatever they do, whether it's positive energy or negative energy. They're just very energetic. A descending baseline is associated with people who are very negative and cynical about their perspective. A meandering baseline, or an erratic baseline, shown at the bottom, is someone who is, again, moody, unbalanced, yet expressive. So finally, the spacing between your words indicates a lot also. Wide spacing between words indicates someone who is distant, separated, and detached, where narrow spacing between words indicates someone who is uptight, invasive, and disrespectful of privacy. Loose spacing between letters indicates someone who is open-minded, loose, generous, and a free spirit. But the tight spacing between letters indicates someone who is narrow-minded, uptight, and controlled. So what you really want to shoot for is just a good in-between of those things. Graphology and handwriting analysis is practiced and accepted among many people, but there are also a lot of people who really disagree with this, and it's mainly because there is no scientific proof or evidence for it at all. It's been tested and compared with other reliable personality tests such as Myers-Briggs, but it comes out to be completely different and opposite than any of those tests. It's also only available for languages that use Latin script like our alphabet does, so Asian languages and some other rare languages will not be able to apply to this. Also, interpretation is always subject to the graphologist or the handwriting analyst, so it's just very inconsistent, and it depends on who it is, what the results are. So finally, I'm going to ask you to take another look at your handwriting. And now what does it tell you about yourself?